You know, folks, I think this shirt really kind of sums up this week as far as what's happened after the Charlie Kirk shooting. He's definitely not a crackhead, for sure.
Lastly, to my friend Charlie Kirk, rest now, brother. We have the watch, and I'll see you in Valhalla.
We'll see you in Valhalla. How about we'll see you in heaven because he was a Christian? No? Doesn't work? Holy cow. There have been a lot of things that have came out. People have been sending them to me like crazy as far as stuff that doesn't make sense with the shooting. And I want to go through several of them. I want to put a disclaimer out. I don't know what to think. I can tell you right now, I am still under the impression that this dude didn't do it. The reason why I'm under that impression is because the suspect that they originally released is not the same guy. Photo of the suspect they originally released and then this guy is not the same guy. It's just not. The distance from your bottom lip to your chin doesn't just change overnight. Instead of 4 inches, now it's 2 inches. So here's the first thing that's really weird. There's a guy by the name of George Zinn who is a witness to 9/11. What are the chances that he is at the Charlie Kirk rally, 1, and 2, essentially tells the cops that he did it to create a huge distraction?
Now, all you conspiracy theorists out there, I don't want you going crazy, but what are the odds that George Zinn, the patsy that was arrested at the Charlie Kirk assassination, also saw 9/11, he saw the planes fly into the buildings and called that in or reported it, and then he also called in a fake terrorist attack at the Boston Marathon bombing, and just so happened to get arrested at Charlie Kirk's event. So Tess Keyser, she responded to this tweet and she says, Grok is a guy really involved in all 3 events like this post claims. And Grok fact checks it and goes, based on a review of multiple sources, George Zinn was a witness to the 9/11 attacks and he described seeing planes hit the towers. He was also arrested in 2013 for emailing a bomb threat joke to the Salt Lake City Marathon shortly after the Boston bombing. He pled guilty to a terrorism charge and somehow magically only received probation.
Doesn't really make that much sense. I mean, it does if you're trying to cover something up. Now, there are a lot of people sending me stuff as far as Israel's involvement in this. I don't know what to think. But here's what I will say. All we can go off of is the facts. Charlie was starting to question what was going on in Israel, and he was one of their biggest loyalists. For some reason, Netanyahu has his nose in all of our fucking business. Like you aren't busy doing your own thing over there, and he is talking about Charlie Kirk nonstop. Apparently he lied about some letter that Charlie wrote him. Candace Owens has been losing her mind over that. In the comments, as far as his ex posts are just absolutely ratioing him. But the psychology behind it is, if you're not involved in something, but you're continuously trying to defend the fact that you're not involved, instead of just being like, we're not involved, I don't need to comment, like that's not our thing, it looks pretty damn suspicious. You don't have to be defensive for something that you're not involved in. All right, you guys, so I remember trying to help my parents with Medicare, and there are so many scams out there, it's really hard to figure out, and most people end up paying more money than they need to for coverage that they don't need. That's when I was excited when I learned about Chapter. Chapter is the only advisor out there that compares every national plan to find the one that works for you. In fact, I had my parents do a consult with them, and they saved them over $34,000. Incredible. So here's my recommendation. Give them a call. They're gonna explore every plan with you, make sure everything you need is covered, make sure your doctors are covered, and they're gonna make sure that you're not overpaying, which is just as important. So if you want real unbiased help with Medicare, call 572-245-0807. Tell them that I sent you. They'll take care of you just like they did for my parents. Obviously, we had this jet that we've talked about before that took off, turned its radar off, which, who knows, there are so many DEI pilots now. Could have been a mistake, doubt it, because it's extremely illegal. But I want to talk more about the people in the crowd, because there are a lot of people who have told me, oh, well, he was wearing body armor and it skipped off the top and hit him in the neck. Now there are a lot of people saying, well, he got shot from the side. So I want to put this video up. This is probably the sketchiest video that I've seen to date in regards to all of this. And it would make sense as far as if what we saw on camera is the exit wound and that he actually got shot in the back of the neck. So here we have this guy in white. I want everybody to watch his hands. They match up perfectly with when the shot goes off.
Watch these hands.
Violence.
You
Violence.
Very hard to see anything in his hands. A lot of people are saying, well, maybe it's a cell phone gun, which I think is possible. I think anything is possible right now because nothing that the FBI has put out makes any fucking sense. We got the shooter. Really? You didn't do shit, man. He was turned in. We apprehended the suspect in crazy time. No, you didn't. Then we went over the fact that there was a drone. We still don't have confirmation of who owns that drone. Here's what I will say though. For the people out there who are saying, well, he was for sure wearing body armor. I don't know. From what I saw, I don't really see anything. The guy was a pretty skinny guy. You would pretty clearly be able to see something, but let's say he was. If you're his security detail and you're telling him you need to be wearing body armor, where is the perimeter? If you're thinking that there's potentially going to be a shooter, why not have drones in the air yourself as a security team to make sure you're covering all the buildings at least 500 yards out? I've talked about this before, but I went to a 2A rally about 2 years ago now in Arizona. And there were drones all over the place. Now, they were ran by law enforcement, but if you're that high profile of a person, you can for sure have that airspace, at least 1,000 feet up for your event. But no, there was no perimeter. There was no nothing. And this is kind of where it gets a little bit odd to me. We showed the video of him running off of the building. It looks like he dropped something on the floor very small. His jacket is flailing around, so there's nothing inside of the jacket. Kash Patel said he had like a towel wrapped around it. No, there was a towel wrapped around it. It would have been still wrapped around it when he dumped it in the woods. It wouldn't be in a shipping box like he's about to run to UPS and ship it back to the store he bought it from. Like, let's use our fucking heads here, can we? Like I said, definitely not a crackhead. But there's more video that's just came out. And this video shows somebody panning the camera following the shooter, okay? So if you know security cameras and you understand very simply how they work, it's usually set in one direction, especially ones that cover such a big area of view. You're not gonna have it on motion sensing because in this video, it would be confused on where to go because there are so many cars running around. It would be all over the place. So there is for sure somebody panning the security camera following this guy. But I want to break it down because there is no gun unless the gun he used was different or if this guy was a decoy. I am not sure about any of this. And it's sad that all of us aren't sure because the FBI just needs to be straight up with us about it. And if they don't have the information, continue to try to find it. But just serving this cookie cutter, oh, his roommate was trans and said X, Y, and Z, we're just not buying it. Here we have him running. His jacket is flailing around. So if there was a 30-06 4-foot gun in there, that thing would be straight as an arrow and he would be carrying it like this. Ultimately, you're supposed to carry it by your side, but if it's straight up and down, that jacket is not flailing around and all limp, okay? I know some people have said, well, maybe he stuck it in his pants. It would be very hard to bend your knee at all if you've got a steel barrel going down to your ankle. I wanna know who is running this camera. Who's running the camera? Because like I said before, if it was motion activated, it'd be following this red car, it'd be following all the cars over there, it'd be following the fucking birds, it'd be following everything. So what does this person know? Here's kind of the last thing that's really trippy. There's a guy who was trying to do an interview. He went up there and started to talk about what he saw. Then it looks like a group of dudes who have Fed Boys written all over him go over to him and make him stop to the point where the guy is losing his mind about it.
I was standing from probably the third row in the bottom. I saw hit, I heard the shot ring out. I looked to my left and then I looked over to my right. I saw him slump over in his chair forward. He slumped over. He had blood coming from the left side of his neck down his shirt, and he slumped over and he was carried off. Get off me! Get off me!
So, as of now, this case is not solved. Just because they have somebody in custody, just because they got his roommate who went through a damn gender blender talking, doesn't mean anything. There are so many parts to this. In fact, the FBI said that they're not ruling out co-conspirators. Do we really think this guy acted alone? I mean, if this is truly the case and this guy just did this on his own, how fucking horrible are we in 2025 as far as security goes? Like, his whole security team, let me be the first to say, y'all fucking suck. If he truly was instructed to wear body armor and you guys didn't have some level of perimeter, some kind of overwatch, some kind of drone in the air, you're vastly overpaid. You guys are glorified bodyguards. So stop bullshitting us. Just give us the truth.